Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David, Baruch Hashem, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Matas Masai. It's Shabbos Chazak. It's also Erev Rosh Chodesh today. Okay, Rosh Chodesh Av. Tonight, yeah. Well, this is Erev Rosh Chodesh now, right? There we go. And one of the nice acronyms for Av is Elul Ba. Really, Av is ready, Elul is here, and you got to get ready, all right? There's 21 days between Rosh Hashanah and Shmini Atzeres, the end of the thing, and there's also 21 days in this time period to tell us we're getting ready for the high holidays, so we should do our thing right, okay? And Baruch Hashem, okay, should be good for all the Klal Yisrael. Okay, we're learning Likutey Halachos. We're in Hilchos Netilas Yadayim. Again, Hilchos Netilas Yadayim for Suda, right? If you're going to wash for bread. This is not for the morning. We're in Halacha Vav, and we're in the middle of Mem Hey. Right, so we're learning amazing things here about the idea that we have to switch over from the, we know we have the Nefesh HaBahamis and we have the Nefesh HaLikus, right? We have a Nefesh HaBahamis, our animal soul instincts, and then we have the Nefesh HaLikus. And the point is to eat, and you want to satiate, and you want to give vitality to the Nefesh HaLikus, and he should have an edge over the Nefesh HaBahamis. All right? That's what we're up to now.
And what I love about that, you taught us that we really transform our food from animal food to holy food.
That we do is from the time of Pesach. At Pesach, we're bringing the carbon oimer oirim. That's the waving offering of barley.
We don't do that when we have bread in the morning. When we do the.
No, we don't have barley. No, on barley. Pesach we bring the barley offering. Yeah. Because then we're considered, we're ready. We're not refined yet. We're not refined. As we refine ourselves during the Sfira process. Right, and we rise levels, and we go from one level to the next, to the next, to the next. We come to the 50th level. So then we bring the shtei alechem. We bring the bread, the beautiful bread. All right, here we go. Balkin ikka tikun kishemikarev atzmei letzadik shu bechinas Moshe. Anytime a person connects himself to a tzaddik, all tzaddikim are an aspect of Moshe Rabbeinu. Because what did Moshe Rabbeinu do? He was helping to bring Jews closer to Hashem. And anytime you have a tzaddik that's working on bringing Jews closer to Hashem, like Rav Nosson, these tzaddikim that we're learning about here, Pinachman, all the tzaddikim. Anytime you bring yourself closer to tzaddikim, is an aspect of Moshe Rabbeinu. How do you like that? Isn't that amazing, right? Okay, sheyesh leikoyach lahoyer by hadas, to bring this das into people to understand. What is it? What is that? Ad shemeidia shegam etzlei nimsa Hashem yizbarach ki adayin hu yizbarach imay. Right? The tzaddikim, anyone that tells you that you're far away from Hashem and you've done things that you can't get close to Hashem, run away from that person. Right? He's not. That's not the way. Right? Moshe Rabbeinu said, no matter who you were, you can come back to Hashem. Right? I mean, for crying out, I mean, we all served idols, right? We had the Chet HaEgel, right? And Moshe Rabbeinu didn't throw in the towel on us, right? So we don't have people today that are serving idols necessarily, right? Right? People may be doing the wrong thing, but they're not doing that, and not dancing around an idol like we would do, right? Right? But Moshe Rabbeinu taught us that you can still come back to Hashem. Right, and that's where we got the Yud Gimel Midas Harachman from, right? Through that, through Moshe Rabbeinu negotiating with Hashem, right? Negotiating with Hashem, and proving to Hashem how great every Jew is. Hashem forgave us, right? And He gave us the Yud Gimel Midas Harachman. It's fascinating. Ad Shem is Gaber Liyos Ish Chayil, until the person can become a warrior, right? He can become a warrior towards Hashem, serving Hashem, because again, if someone has fallen aside, and he's involved with whatever he's involved with, right? So he's going to have to be a warrior in order to break away from all of that stuff, right? He's going to have to be a warrior, right? He may have his family that's bothering him, right? He may have his friends that are bothering him, right? He may have things inside him bothering him, right? He may have inner things. He may have inner things bothering him, right? So he has to be an ish chayil. To bring this aras harotzon at the time that he eats. And that's the most fascinating thing that we're learning here. That a person can come to the aras harotzon while they're eating. It's fascinating. You got it, David? Yeah? Okay. A person can come to the aras harotzon while they're eating. Could you imagine that? That's fascinating. A person can come to that place of rotzon, to that place of Rava de Ravin, that place that you can come through Kriya Shema, be Makabel Ol Malchus Shemayim, right? Kriya Shema is probably the climax of our Tefillah Shachris, right? Then we go to Shmon Esrei right away, right? So a person can come to that high level while he's eating. It's fascinating, right? Like we learned, right? He takes the bread. And he realizes the 10 different mitzvahs that were involved with making that bread, right? And then he takes out and he uses his 10 fingers to hold the bread, and he washes his hands, and he connects to the Mei Elyon, right, to the Yam HaChochma up in Shemayim, where all bracha comes from, and he washes off all of the tumah from his hands, right? And then he picks up the bread, and he's baitzeya the bread in the place where it's a little bit more well done. So he remembers his Yiras Hashem, right? Fascinating. All these beautiful things that we learn that a person can come to via eating, right?
And it really works. And I also bring out a book and I learn while we eat.
Yeah. That's all, right? Okay. Via Dezeh, what he's saying is because we learned that you learn Torah at your table, because if you learn Torah at your table, as if you're eating food, that's being mechaya the nefesh, right? But if you're not learning Torah at the table, so then you wind up eating what Chazal say from the zivchei mesim, right?
Well, that's what I was trying to say before, a few minutes ago, but I guess I didn't use the right words.
Okay. Vayedei zeh ikar hasaviyah shehu chiyas hadamim. The main sphere will come that'll give chiyas to the damim, to the blood. So we were learning about that yesterday, right? So people have different ailments, right? They have different limbs that are bothering them, and they have different problems, right? That's because the blood is not flowing properly to that limb. If the blood flows properly to that limb, and it's oxygenated properly, and it has the right nutrients in it, and it nourishes the organ, then the organ is going to be fine, right? What?
No, we're saying about the blood. You know, it's like you're getting rid of the evil desires. It's like you're
cleaning out
the flow.
You're hurting. That's right. They're hurting the flow of the blood. That's right. In other words, the blood is going, but the blood's not going in the right way. Because it's all connected to the mind. And if the person's mind is defiled, so then the heart's he's not breathing properly. He's not getting the right oxygen, and then the blood's not traveling through in a healthy way.
And all because we're eating in this process.
You can do, if you're eating in the process of holiness, and then you can it can actually help you physically.
Yeah,
which is fascinating. Yossi, do you believe it? It's amazing. Rav Nosson is telling us we can be healthier by eating with kedusha. No one else tells you that.
Like healthier even physically.
Physically, yeah, your blood will flow better to your limbs. It's fascinating. No, is that not fascinating?
Yeah.
No, I love how Rav Nosson does this. In other words, he tries to get everyone's attention. This guy's a health guy. Here, I have something for you. This guy's this. I give. It's amazing, right?
Yeah. I guess it's all written in Anatomy of the Soul.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a book. Wow.
That's on all parts of the body.
Yeah.
Spiritually and how things.
Yeah. Reb Chaim said that was the most difficult book he did of all his books. Took him the longest time. It took him the longest time to do the research to do that book, Anatomy of the Soul. But it's fascinating. He did it. It's a masterpiece. Really, it's a masterpiece. Okay. Haynu shadamim nivloim heitev ba'avorim, that the blood should be well absorbed into the limbs. It should accept it, and it becomes healthier. Right? When we're at a bris milah, it's interesting. We learn about bris today in the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We may get to that one. We don't say tachnun the days that there's a bris, a moyel, a sandik, the aviyah ben, and so on, right? So we say at the bris, b'damaya chayi, right? Remember those words, right? Right, Yossi, right? You say that twice.
Yeah.
Right, one time is for the car because we were saved via the blood of the carbon Pesach, right? We put the blood on the doorpost, and Hashem passed over our house, and we were saved. And the other one we were saved was the dam milah, Okay, shayidei zeh mevatel haretzoynes haroyim shal resichas hadam, and through that we can mevatel the desires. The evil desires that comes from the boiling of the blood, right? The person's blood's boiling for something, right? Sometimes it could be boiling for a taiva. It could be for anger. The guy, they even say, his blood's boiling. You ever hear that expression?
Yeah, not funny.
You ever hear that expression? David, you ever hear that expression?
Sure.
When do you use that? Like the guy's angry? Is that when you say?
Angry. Yeah.
Anger, yeah. And we said anger is avodah zarah, right? Right. Okay. Umahapech resichas hadamim el kedusha.
Hot-blooded, they say.
Hot-blooded, yeah. Umahapech resichas hadamim el kedusha. Oh, so wait a second. He can now transform. He can transform that negative trait, that negative midah, and he can make it positive. Now use it to have that desire to serve Hashem, to love Jewish people, to love the land of Israel, to stand up for the people in Israel, and so on and so forth, right? You need that. Right? Again, we said when we do this, the person can become an ish chayil, right? He has to be an ish chayil, he has to be a warrior, right? So you could take that power, right? That power for desire, you could turn that into the proper desire. But that's what we're saying. He says, don't do anything differently. Just change your whole paradigm.
Paradigm, yeah.
Right? Is that a good word to use? Change the paradigm of what you're doing. In order to bring onto the person, he should draw the ratzon of Hashem tamid l'Hashem Yisbarach, to do the ratzon of Hashem, not to follow after every whim that he has. We know the process. We know the Chazal tell us right? When one side goes up, the other side goes down. And that's the beautiful thing of Tanya. Tanya explains so beautifully in the first chapter that every person is like a little island, right? And on the island there are two kings. That's what the Tanya explains. There are two kings on the island, and the two kings are always at battle. Each one wants to win. There's a constant war going on between the two kings. It's almost like here in this land, right? We have the Yetzer Tov here, and we have the Yetzer Hara, right? It's the same thing, right? That we have in this land, where we live. Huh?
It's a zero-sum game, meaning the Yetzer Hara goes up, the Yetzer Tov is going to go down.
Yeah.
There's no...
Yes, isn't it the way it works here too? Think about
That's
it.
what he's saying.
No. How does it work in Israel?
Oh,
when we're up, then they're down.
no.
When we're down, they're up. Right? We were down on October 7th. They were up.
They were up.
Right? It's it's the same thing, is it not?
On a
Someone's going to be up and someone's going to be down. That's how it is. You can't have everyone at the same level. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay. Anyway, so there comes their Neifel, right? So the Tanya says each one is trying to battle with the other one. And like when you're at a war, so there are different battles, right? They have different battles, right? And sometimes they lose a skirmish, they lose a battle. But they don't lose the war, right? So he keeps going, right? So this is what we're saying here. Right? So you have to understand, and then listen, and if a person does this, doesn't mean he's always going to be successful. Right? He's going to try to do this, but he's not always going to be successful because, again, life happens, right? But realize this. So Rav Nosson is telling us here, even if you try to eat with this proper way, and you want to bring the Ratzon Hashem, and you're trying to be the Ishchayil, but it doesn't work out, okay, try again. Try again. You'll get it.
I find that learning tips the scale.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When you learn,
Learning when you're eating, I find that really does something to.
Well, the first lesson, Likutey Moran, you were learning the same idea. In other words, if a person can't just daven, he has to learn, right? The learning fortifies the davening. A person can't just can't daven and he can't just learn without tefillah. He needs the tefillah in order to help his learning. That's how it works. Okay, now, ki efshar sheyeh shnei machshavos yachad. And now this is the most beautiful thing. We learned this so much about this, right? The person cannot have two thoughts simultaneously. Right? It can't happen. It can't be. A person cannot have two thoughts at the same time. So in other words, if you have one thought in your mind, and Rabbi Nachman says, what do? If you have a thought in your mind, he says, if you try to stop the thought, it'll get stronger. Well, let's say you're thinking about something you don't want to think about. Right? You're thinking about something you don't want to think about. So if you try to stop thinking about it, it'll get stronger. So what is the advice? Change the thought. You're thinking about this, now think about something else, because you can't think about two things at the same time. So he says, okay, but it'll come back again. Change the thought again. Keep doing that. Keep doing that until you suppress that thought that you're trying to get rid of because you keep pushing it down. Again, zeh comes, zeh neufel. Right? So if that thought comes, now put another one now, push it down, and then let the next thought come up. Oh, he may bop him down again. Okay, so come back again.
I had to do this when I got married my second time. Because I get this fear. I use a rubber band to say, I am different. Ellen is different. I'm very excited about getting married.
Okay.
And because the other thought from what had happened in the past was coming in and
right. But that same thing is with anything. It could be any experience in life. Any experience in life. Anything. You can only think about one thing at a time.
Stopped that train of thought by doing the zap on your wrist.
Right.
You didn't think about it. You're right. You came back and you just zapped it again.
No, because then you were thinking about my arm hurts. Look what I just did here.
That's the concept, and that proves his point. But that's people do that.
But you could do that without popping the rubber band. I mean, you could do it also.
You can. That's just one way.
Yeah. Listen, you're sitting in your car, you're driving, you're in traffic, your mind is so just keep changing the thought.
And
think of something else.
Smelling something can do that, like
yes.
incense. Music can do that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The smelling is also very important, right? Because we know that was the only scent that wasn't defiled by Adam. With the chet Adam, the chet eitz hadas tov v'ra, the scent of the sense of scent, right? Okay. So anyway, this is a very important thing. If zeh comes, zeh neufel, and you can't have two thoughts in one time. So again, if you have one thought, change the thought, and he may come back again. Change it again until you suppress it, and then you're thinking what you want to think, right? Okay, and it'll come back again. You just have to keep exercising that. All right? It really, I'm telling you, it works. It really works. Sometimes, you think I got to make this payment and this thing and that thing, and it keeps bothering me. I can't think of anything else. Just think of something else, right? It could be anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And if a person accustoms himself by doing this constantly. He's exercising this properly all the time. That he's working on coming closer to, and that he wants to be closer to Hashem. He's trying to do that. He's in the program. He's trying to do this. Certainly, you have to do this while you're eating, right? Because eating, again, let's remember, the first sin that happened to mankind was with eating. So you can make the rectifications for the sin via eating, right? That's where the Ratzon is most shown, which is something that I never saw anywhere at all other Sfarim. I learned that the Ratzon is strongest, that you can come to the strongest connection to Hashem via eating. No one will tell you that. No one will tell you have to learn the Taisvis and Rabbi Akiva, Eger, and it's all great. But here's tell you, wait a second. But even while you're eating, you can do that. Okay. You could do this if you're not a shlamazal, right? You could do this. Anyone can do this, he says. Look what he says. You see that? If you're not going to be a lazy shlamazal. Right? So no, he's saying you're going to have to work on this. This is not going to be something so easy. You have to work. But if you work, if you work, you'll be successful. Right? Isn't that fascinating? Look at that, Yossi. He doesn't want you to be a shlamazal.
If you learn it, you do it. Sometimes we're lazy because we just don't know.
Yeah, no. This goes back to, I'll tell you something cute. This goes back 30-something years ago. I was sitting at the it was actually my son's bar mitzvah. I was sitting at the table with Rav Weinberger, and we were learning something. I don't remember what it was we were learning, but I said to him, I tried that thing in the mamish. It works great. So he looked at me and says, "You really tried it?" He looked at me and he said, "You really did that?" So I said, "Yeah, isn't that the whole point of learning?" He says, "Most people just learn things, but they don't put it into practice."
And then you don't get the experience.
That's what he said to me.
You don't get anything.
What?
You get a little something, but not much. If you don't practice it, you don't.
No, it's just again, because we said that some people learn for the sake of learning. They like to learn. It's interesting. But they don't actually put it into practice. And that's the whole point. We could put this in practice. He says if you're not an ish, otzol shlamazik.
Well, if you want
a shlamazel, right?
If you want to have a life of worry and fear and angst, don't do it.
Well, that's okay. By days there, mevatel haretzoynei shal resichas adamim the sitrach, and a person can be mevatel. He can actually nullify all of the evil desires that are raging in the blood. He can do that. Shenimshocha me'akiras adamim, they come from the impurities. Sheim bechinas adamim shalei nizbalu keroya be'ivarim. That's the blood that did not get absorbed properly into the organs, so then it comes back and it wasn't cleansed in the organs itself, and so on. And it's the whole process is messed up, right? Okay. K'may hatinak shehevi l'Rab Nosson Abavli shoya odam b'yoser. Right? You had here that he said kamavor maimas b'kavan. Okay, he brought this idea. That there was a problem with the child, and he told him he has to wait. He has to wait till the blood is absorbed and so on, and then he'll be better. So he's bringing that. Okay, anyway, that's by the shar kavanas of okay. V'chol zeh zeichen idei atzadik sheyochel lahara babonim b'talmidim, and all this you get through the tzaddikim that can be meir to the banim and the talmidim. Right, you have banim and talmidim, b'darei mala, b'darei mata. Right, so we have the banim and we have the talmidim, right? The son and the student, and we have the darei mala, darei mata. Darei mata is down here, darei mala is up on high, and we're constantly trying to bring the two together, Right? That's what the whole lesson's all about. We're trying to bring the two worlds together. Darei Mala, we're trying to connect it to the Darei Mata. To bring the worlds all together. And that's how you can get this aras harotzon at the time of eating. So we learned that when you wash your hands, you're connecting the water down here from the water up on high, right? And when you make the bracha, you're connecting again this world to the next world. You're bringing Hashem in there, right? And then again, when you're eating and you realize this food that I have on my plate, wow, Hashem, you prepared all of this for me. And Sheshis Yemei Bereshis, you already figured out that I was going to have this food here, right? When Hashem was making the world originally, it was already planned that I'm going to have this sandwich with this kind of bread and this meal over here. Yeah,
It's just amazing. I mean, like, all through here, we're learning what are the various steps. Like, through gaining desire through eating, forgive me, Hashem, wash your hands. It's like all leads to something.
Right, because most people have the desire to eat. Right, they have the desire to eat, right? People like to eat. Right? So they're eating, they eat more and more and more, but they're not eating and it's not helping them. It's contrary. It's to their detriment. But we're learning here when a person can eat, right? When he eats in the proper way, he can actually help himself spiritually and physically.
And then you're not as hungry for eating because you're learning Torah. Because what it says is that if you want to eat something, it's really saying your soul wants some Torah.
The Baal Shem Tov said that. The Baal Shem Tov said that when a person feels hungry, he says, really, that's a spiritual thing. Then the Neshama is telling you, I need you to teach. I need some Torah. I need some tefillah. It's amazing. Yeah, the Baal Shem Tov said that. That's a teaching from the Baal Shem Tov.
Most people are like that. That's the opposite of what I need
Right, that's the opposite, right?
The last thing I need right now.
Right, I need my sandwich now, right?
Sandwich, my ice cream, my chocolate bar, my
whatever.
Snickers.
Right.
That's what by the Goyim.
What do you mean?
They also have to eat. They don't have to.
Okay, listen, Reb Shalom. Let's let it work by us. Okay,
They could learn from us later.
Listen, I guess. Hold on a second. You know, like the things that we're learning here, right? You have to be besimcha, right? You have to be besimcha, right? So even by Goyim, if they're besimcha, they're much better off, right? Right? They say, like in all hospitals, they like to have clowns, right? They bring clowns in. Why? Because if the person's happy, that's the greatest medicine, right? Right? If the person's all depressed and he's worried about his things, he's not going to heal himself, right?
Well, and that's changing their thought by bringing them to joy and laughing.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, you see it. The whole system works. Yeah, the other day I was listening to Rab David Jerome. He has his Tanya class, so I like to listen to him once. And sometimes when I'm driving in the car, I like listen. So he was saying he had this lady on. I don't know who the lady is on his thing, but this lady said that he was talking about the Chodesh Av. And she said that, Mishenichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha, and Mishenichnas Av, you have to be Marbin Be'atzvos.
What does that mean? What did she say? I didn't.
You have to be sad. It's time to be sad.
Yeah.
That's easy.
So wait. So I called up Reb Dov and I said, wait a second. You have to tell the lady that's not what the Shulchan Aruch says. It says Mishenichnas Av Marbin Besimcha, Mishenichnas Av Mimatin Besimcha. It says Mimatin Besimcha. You lower your simcha, just lower it a notch. Doesn't say cut it out and become atzvos. Doesn't say that in Shulchan Aruch. Because even on Tisha B'Av, it's the saddest day of the year. You still have to have a level of simcha. That wow, I'm part of your close family, Hashem. I'm part of your close family that I can mourn with you, Hashem. Right?
And we're mourning about the Beit HaMikdash.
Yeah, we're mourning with Hashem. right? We're
That's
part.
with
We're,
that loss.
exactly. They were part.
Matim, like you have to put things on a lower flame, but you have to do it the simple.
You have to still be. You have to have simcha no matter what you do. No matter what. Matim b'simcha. That's a very important thing. Right? We eat, you have to be happy also. Again, you'll be happy when you're thinking about, wow, Hashem, you gave me this food. It's amazing. Hashem, you prepared this for me. Wow, yeah, okay, I understand that the chef made it. Okay, I got that. But where did the chef get his idea? Where did he get all the ingredients from? And you prepared all the ingredients and you worked it out that he got here to this plate, all these ingredients that I needed from these different nutrients and these different places, all to come to this plate for me, right? Like we said, there's a lot of nefashos, right? Inside of everything. And then when I'm eating, I'm connecting to the nefashos that are in those things. Like when we make the bracha, burying the nefashos, rabbis, v'chesronan, right? We have. Why are you making a bracha of nefashos when I'm eating? Right? Did you ever think of that? The bracha burying nefashos, does it make? Right? What's going on over here? Oh, because we had a lot of different souls inside here. Right? We said that.
Just help me flip a switch to understand what I'm going to be, what I can be sad about, because I can still have all this other joy whether I'm eating whatever holy. I can be sad about we don't have the connection to Hashem that we could have if the Beit.
We don't have the Beis Hamikdash, and the Beis Hamikdash. Well, listen. When we had the Beis Hamikdash, we had the carbon hatamid. Right, which we had the carbon tamid that we had the tamid shel shachar, tamid shel bein ha'arbayim. Right, we had the tamid in the morning and the afternoon. So that's one thing that we lost on Shivasa B'Tamas, right? We talked about that, right? So we lost that. So we lost that connection to Hashem, that we had forgiveness for all of the inadvertent things that we did, right? Through the one that we brought in the morning was a communal offering, right? That was brought in the money with all the funds, the communal funds from all of the people that contributed to the communal sacrifices, right? So that brought everyone forgiveness for all the inadvertent things they did at night, right? And then he brought one in the late afternoon. Why did he bring one late in the afternoon? Again, anything that we did wrong inadvertently during the day, so it brought us forgiveness for that. We lost that. Right? We don't have the carbon, we don't have the Kohen Gadol. Right? We don't have the Kohen Gadol. Right? Rashi says, do you ever think of this? We talk about in the parsha this week, we have the Arei Miklat. Right? The Arei Miklat. Now, hey, why is it that when the guy kills somebody by accident, right? He has to run to the city of refuge, and he has to wait there till the Kohen Gadol dies.
Wow.
What does
Now
what?
That Torah goes out of its way to say you can't even buy your way out.
You can't.
Yeah, even all right, maybe you kill someone, you can't buy your way out.
No, the Goyal Adam can get him.
But at least this guy.
That guy can be waited. The Goyal Adam, the one that's taking revenge for the one that he killed, can wait at the gate. As soon as he walks out, he can kill him.
But you can't even go to the guy at the gate and say, hold on. Here's $1,000. Let's call it a day.
No.
Can't do that. The Torah says that's.
Can't do that. You can't buy your way out. Money can't buy your way out.
What does it mean that Aryeh Gekla? What does that mean?
What?
You said something about Aryeh Gekla?
No. The Goy Arei Miklat. Arei cities of refuge.
Okay.
I told you that. I said the city of
I
refuge.
didn't know what the words meant.
Arei Miklat. Miklat. You have to run into the miklat, right? Miklat, right? You know that word, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Arei Miklat, the city of refuge.
And it is. A miklat is a refuge from the bombs.
Where do you think they got it from? Where do you think they got the word from? Right? Yes, that's where they got the word from, right?
Wow.
No. So again, he goes into the city and he has to wait over there till the Kohen dies. So why does one thing have to do with the other one? What does one thing have to do with the other? So there's one understanding, and this is the one I like, is that the Kohen didn't daven, because the Kohen is really connected to all the souls of the Jewish people, the Kohen Gadol. And he didn't daven that these things, accidents shouldn't happen. He didn't daven that these accidents shouldn't happen. You understand?
Should not happen?
Should not happen. right? If he would have done his avoda in a way, then he would have done it better. And then these accidents would not happen, this guy wouldn't be there. Oh, so now the fact that he didn't do that, so now he's there.
Oh, so his rectification is that
So he dies, then he can go out.
Go out.
Fascinating, right?
Isn't it also true that Hashem is sad because he's not in his home? Isn't that also
Of
part
course.
of it?
Yeah, you're supposed to be with your family, right?
Yeah. No, because we were talking about Israel.
No, and his family can't go into the city of refuge. Only he can stay there. Stay there by himself. He's stuck, right? He's stuck. And they said they used to say that the mother of the Kohen Gadol used to bring cookies. Used to bring into the cities of refuge. She used to always bake cookies and different things and give it to the people so they should be happy that they're getting nice food. Food, see that? Food, see that? Getting food, right?
You give me the food, I won't pray for him to die.
No, that's what they did. They did that. They did that.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful. You can connect all the things together, right? Isn't that nice? They would daven to give them food, but then if they were eating the food, recognizing, wait, Hashem, I'm stuck over here. All right, whatever. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay. It's nice, right? Okay. Shemavakesheres hanefesh im haguf. If you connect the nefesh to the guf, ayedei shemachayes adam shu hanefesh. So in other words, you can make that bond, right? We want the nefesh. We want the person to have good vitality, right? We want to be a healthy person, right? So the better the nefesh is bound to the guf, the healthier the person will be, right? Okay, and that's through the blood. כי הנפש הוא עם הגוף, על ידי מחייס אדם שהוא הנפש, right? שעל ידי זה בחינת זיכרוך אדם, and then it can clean up the blood. Shenivloyim be'evarim karoyis, and that way it can be absorbed and flow through the evarim properly, and the guy can be a healthier and spiritually healthier person, physically and spiritually healthier. Until he has all his limbs are serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu in that way. Well, then I'll explain it like this. The Nesiv Shalom is. I remember I was learning this with Chavrusi years ago. And I think about this all the time when you say the parish, we say the every day we say the parish of the Akedah, right? So it says that Abraham Avinu, he picked up his hand. He had to pick up his hand. So they asked, why does it mean he had to pick up his hand? You don't pick up your hand. You lift your hand.
Oh,
you don't pick up your hand.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you lift up your hand. You don't pick up your hand. So it says that Abraham Avinu, Abraham Avinu's body was so purified. He was so pure that his limb knew that this was only a test from Hashem, and Hashem didn't really want him to do this. Hashem didn't even want him to do this. He didn't want him to slaughter his son. His limb understood that.
Oh, wow.
Could you believe that his limb understood that and that's why he had to pick up his hand. He didn't want to go.
Wow.
He had to pick up his hand. It was part of the test, right? It was part of that test. So you can notice that the limbs, that the blood can be so pure that the limbs can cry out also to Hashem. We say that also in okay, all right, whatever.
That's a wow. I mean, that's...
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, with a very, very strong way while the person's eating. So you can do all of this, you can accomplish while you're eating. Until he can actually say the words and he could praise Hashem and daven to Hashem coming from his mouth. And that's why we have the Birchas Hamazon. We say the blessing afterwards. Because again, I ate this food. Now the body says I got to praise Hashem. Right? The body wants to thank Hashem that the body was now satiated and it got its health and it got the holiness through it. So that's why we bench. That's the point there. When I have the warmness in my body, right, in my heart, and the warmness in my heart is warmness to Hashem. right? So then that's going to cause me to dibati b'lashoni. I'll speak words. Words of holiness will come out of me, and that's the benching. Ki ikar hachamimas halev shebaya k'may eish. We know that the heart is burning like fire, right? It says that if not to the lungs, the heart would burn itself up. You know that, right? We have lungs. The lungs cool down the heart.
Like a computer needs a fan.
Yeah, the lungs cool down the heart. Exactly, that's right. The lungs are what cool down the heart from burning up the heart. What? Radiator in the car. So it's all a muscle for the nimshal. It's all the same idea. Yeah. Who meresichas hadamim? That's because of the boiling of the blood. The blood is so hot. The blood is so warm. The blood is so warm. The blood is so warm. The blood is flowing through the heart and it is burning up the heart. And the heart's working, right? It's working hard to pump. How many times a minute does the heart pump? A lot, right? Yossi, do you know that?
Good K. Good K.
Yeah, no, but how many times a minute?
Like 60 or 70 times.
60 or 70 times, right?
Yeah.
Amazing, right? So the heart is working very hard.
Multiply times how old
Yes,
you are.
We have to take that whole that again. We always say that the energy is good. You have to just be mahapich the energy. Don't put out the energy. Right? Energy is good. Use the energy, direct the energy to something holiness.
Like Pinchas did.
Well, yeah, like Pinchas did, or anywhere. You could take the same ideas and turn them into holiness because again, you have energy. Energy is good, right? Don't suppress the energy. Don't get rid of the energy. Don't discard the energy. Use the energy, but use the energy for something of holiness. Sheyevayu Hashem Yisbarach b'Ritzonos the kedusha ad sheyedaber until the person can daven b'Lashonai. Hakisufim v'Haritzonos taivim, all his inner pinings, all his inner longings to Hashem. Shaloi k'may mevay b'makei macher b'Torah islan. Okay, fine. That's Likutey Moran, lesson 31. Ki ikar is galas ha'amuna ha'kedosha hu al yedei adibur. The main way you can demonstrate your holiness is through your speech, like we learned the other day. Right? A person has whatever they have in their mind. But you have only as galas hadas through the dibur, right? You can only know what the person's thinking through what they say, right? You speak to the person, and that's why you know what the person's thinking. We can't read people's minds, right? If I want to know what you're saying, you tell me, I can understand it. I can hear it. I can know what you're saying. So he was saying, so here we go. He is galas emunah kedosha. If you want to reveal the emunah that the person has, hu al yedei adibur, is the way the person speaks. Right? It's beautiful, right? That's why davening is so important. That's why learning is so important. And again, you always use your words. You always have to. We don't just scan the words.
So that's why I know when someone says something that's not nice to me, that's what they're saying about themselves.
Okay, or whatever.
Well, that's important. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
does that connect to this? Because he's expressing his own desire? What?
Well, it's like, good and bad. If you express negative things, like the Arabs express that we're committing genocide.
Yeah.
They're the ones committing genocide.
Yeah.
It's not us, it's them. It's a mirror. They're saying who they are by what they say.
The mirror is that they are the ones doing it, but they're saying we're the ones that are doing it. Right. They're actually saying what they're pinning on us what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's true.
Well, it's an amazing thing because if you listen to what people say, you really begin to learn who they are. We learn who the Arabs are because of what they say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we were really committing a genocide, we wouldn't have all these soldiers in that unit that are missing all their arms and their limbs. Why? Because they send them into buildings. If we were committing genocide, just destroy all the buildings. You destroy everything. If you don't, why would I be sending a soldier in there? The greatest proof that we're not committing genocide. These soldiers.
You'd be having thousands of funerals too. There's no funerals.
You're right. Yeah.
Thousands of funerals, not just.
Yeah, they don't have any big funerals going on. They're not like burying thousands of bodies.
No,
It's not happening.
it's all a bunch of nonsense.
We learned that yesterday.
All right, but either way, let's just finish this letter here. This is so nice. I mean, wow, this is wow. Kikar is galas emuna kadei shua yedei adibur. It's through the dibur. What you want, but here we're saying it in a positive way. Kikar gal is galas emuna kadei. You want to reveal your holy thoughts. Come out through your dibur. All things come out through the dibur. Here we're trying to use again when you eat the food in that way that's bringing you closer to Hashem, that the blood is absorbing the holiness, and it's distributing it through all of the limbs, and everything is working well, and then it causes you then to want to bench, and then you praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? Right? Okay, Shekmaisha Kosev idea amunascha bepi. I will let David HaMelech says idea amunascha bepi. I'll let my amuna know be said by what I speak. Right? By yedei ikar hamshachas oiros hamakifim, and that's how you can get the oiros hamakifim. Right? You have those different levels, and you have the light that's around the makif. That's around the makif. I can absorb that through my words. Through my words of emunah, I can absorb the oil from the makif shenem shochem ayadei adibur that comes through dibur. Kamei mevayeh bekavonos ayin sham le'el ba'ois lamed hey. Okay, fine. So that's our lesson for today. Baruch Hashem. We'll continue Mitzvah Hashem on Sunday. Okay, we're going to do Mem Vav. And what's that? We're gonna learn the importance of having the right rotzon on Sunday, the right rotzon, the right desire to Hashem. All right, now let's learn. We're learning Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we're learning the laws of Tachnun. Okay, here we go. So we're in the Dinei Tachnun, and that's Chav Beis. So anyone that's following along,
switch as fast as you're switching.
What?
No, I'm still absorbing the.
Yeah, I have the bookmarks.
No, I do too, but I'm still.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta keep moving, right? You gotta keep moving. The heart's pumping quick. We gotta keep moving, right? Okay. Okay. So we are up to letter today.
5.
Hey. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Hey. Kishemispalin bebeis ovel. So let's say there's a base oval, right? There's a house of Shiva, right? And you're davening in the place with the oval. Oy bebeis hameis. Or you're davening in a house that there's a mace there, right? You're in a building that there's a mace. This can actually happen if you're davening in a hospital, right? You're davening in a hospital, right? There's a morgue in the hospital, right? Afal pi she'ein sham ovel, even though there's not an ovel over there, right? In other words, the mourner is not there. The mace is there, but the mourner's not there. You understand? Normally, when you're davening in the house of the mourner's there, you don't say the tachna, because the mourner is there.
Right.
All right. Ein oimrim tachnon shivas yimei ha'avelis, and we know again the Avel does not say tachnon on the 7 days of Avelis, right? The full 7 days of Avelis, right? While he's sitting in mourning for the 7 days, he doesn't say tachnon afilu b'mincha shel yom shvi, because the 7th day, the person when they're sitting shiva, they only do michsas hayom. Right? Why? Because Mitzvah Hayom is Kikulai. Right? A little part of the day is like a whole day. Right? So that's why it's really the person sits Shiva 6 days and 1 hour in the morning. Right? Usually after Shachris, they daven Shachris, and then they take their walk, right? They go around the bar, whatever, and that ends the Shiva. But that mincha still, the Avel doesn't say Tachna. He finished saying, in other words, he's finished the Shiva in the morning, right? So he's not sitting Shiva during the rest of the day, because it was Mitzvah Hayom Kikulai, but he still would not say Tachnon at that mincha. Right? You got it? Okay.
The idea being that he already has his touch of sadness. He doesn't need a reminder.
Yeah,
Is that
he's
the idea?
yeah. The Aval is reminded that he has to do things right. Yeah. No, it's also they say that there's the Malach is going with his sword around the Avelim. It's the whole thing in this whatever. So therefore, he doesn't want to bring up all these other things because he doesn't want to bring any opposition because he's in jeopardy. He's in jeopardy. The Aval's in jeopardy. But either way, but that's not fair. That's not fair. I feel of a mincha shel shvei. Okay, v'noigim shegam b'shuvam lebeisam einei oimrim, and then noig when they come back to the house, they don't say tachnun, right? Okay, fine. V'im yesh ovel bebeis hakneses. Oh, here's a good one. What happens now? The Aval came to the Beis HaKnesses. So when you're in the Aval's house, you don't say Tachnan, because you're in the house of Avelos. But now, let's say there's no minion, whatever the case, and the Aval can't get a minion in his place, right? He's living in a place where the Aval can't get a minion, there's whatever, so he has to come to Shul. Right? He has to come to Shul. So he's in the Beis HaKnesses. Ein atzibah nigrorin Achra v'oimrim tachrin. We don't follow after the Aval in the shul. We do say tachnan. So if you're in his house, if you're in the Aval's house, you don't say tachnan. But if the Aval comes, you would think. So now the Aval's here. The same way you would think. Let's say there's a chassan, right? On the opposite way, right? You say if there's a chassan in shul. Right, the 7 days of his of the Yemei Mishnah, right? The 7 days of his what do you call the Sheva brachas? So you don't say Tachnan, right? Anytime there's a chassan, you don't say Tachnan. But here, if the Aval comes in, you're in his house, you don't say Tachnan. But if he comes to shul, you do say Tachnan. That's the chiddush. You understand?
But
he
doesn't.
He doesn't say Tachnan. Right. Aval ein hayayim, but the Aval does not say the Tachnan. Okay, let's do Vav also. Let's do Vav. This is a beautiful one. This is beautiful. Vav is a beautiful one. I wanted to do this. Okay. Vav is Ein Oimrim Tachnan V'Beis HaKnesses Sheyesh Sham Mila. We were just learning B'Demaya Chayi, right? So here we go. Okay. If you have you don't say Tachnan in the Beis HaKnesses that there's a Mila that day. There's a Mila in that day. You don't say Tachnan. Oy Shebal HaBris. Oy hasandik, oy hamayo mispalalim sham. Right? So here, if you have somebody that's going to be the sandak, right? There's going to be the guy holding the baby, right? The sandak, he's the one that holds the baby, right? So if he's in the shul too, no one says tachna. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
We know if the mayil's there, right? We have our mayil that comes, right? And he puts on his white shirt, and he says, great, right? That's great. Okay, that's great, right? But if the Avia Ben is there too, right? The Avia Ben, the father of the child, right? Let's say they're making the bris a little later in the day. Let's say they're making it by whatever, and then in the morning the father's there. So even if the mayil's not there, the father you still don't say, and the sandik is there, you still don't say taklit either.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. Okay. Even though the mila may be somewhere else. So we started off by saying, if there's a mila in the shul, so then you don't say tad. Everyone agrees, no problem. But here the chiddush is that even if the sandik or the mayil or the avia ben, the father is davening and here in this shul, and the bris is going to be somewhere else. Still, you don't say the tachna. The people still get that dispensation that they don't have to say tachna. Okay.
What if the mourner shows up there? Does he still say it, or is he now
the mourner doesn't say tachna?
No, not the mourner. I mean the mourner. Like the one before said.
The mourner doesn't say. No, the mourner doesn't say tachna. He doesn't say. No, the opposite. The mourner, if he comes to the shul, so everyone says tachnan, he doesn't.
Right. So, but in this case, if you have a brit milah, and he comes to the shul, does he still say tachnan? Even though
he doesn't say tachnan at all. Never. The mourner doesn't say tachnan during the 7 days of mourning. He never says tachnan.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the mourner never says tachnan during the 7 days.
Right. So
Yeah, the
Milah
chiddush
Adai,
was
still wouldn't
that
say
it's the full 7
It's the
days,
full, yeah.
even though he doesn't sit shiva full 7 days, but he keeps the not saying tachlin for the full 7 days. Okay, ve'im ispal in mincha bebeis hatinok koydem sudas habris oy beemsa suda. What happens if you're davening mincha in the house where the tinok is, right? The rachanimo is there, right? The baby that didn't have the bris yet. Koydem sudas habris oy beemsa suda. Or let's say they're even in the middle of the Suda, right? You have the babies there; they didn't have the bris yet, or they're in the middle of the Suda, or they're in the right the Suda of the bris, be'emsa Suda. Gam ke ein aimrim, you don't say tachlin in that situation. But wait a second. What happens if they finish benching? Here, let's say. So now you came in. Right? Let's say they had a little later bris. Now it's mincha time. You're davening mincha gedola, right? And the suda is still going on. So if they didn't finish benching yet, they didn't bench yet, so then you don't say tachlin. But if they benched already, now you have to say tachlin by mincha. Okay, you got it? If they didn't bench, so then the simcha is going on still. But the simcha stops when it's for the public stops when they bench. Okay? Okay. Bala bris, but the bala bris, right? The father, the bala bris, hasandik va'amoyel, the sandik and the moyel, lo yoymu afla acher birchas hamazon. They have a special thing for the day. They have a special simcha for the day that doesn't extend to the rest of the people, though. Okay? Because it's after the bris. It's after the bris and it's after the birchas hamazon, the benching of the bris. Right, we had benching in our thing today, and we had the b'damaya chayi today. That's wonderful. I love that. It's amazing. Okay. Mishum the yom tov lahem, because it's a yom tov for them. It's a yom tov for those 3 individuals, right? Those 3 individuals. It's a yom tov for the bala bris, the avia ben, the father, and it's for the sandak, the one that was holding the baby. Right? And also for the mayel, all for the entire day. So like we have our friend here, Reb Chaim, he comes to daven and he's the mayel, right? So so in the morning we don't say tachlin, right? But if the bris was in the morning and he comes for mincha, and even is wearing his white shirt, it doesn't matter. And everyone says tachlin. It only works in the morning, before the bris. Once they finish benching, it's over for the rest of the people. We can't get that. But if he comes in the morning, the bris is going to be, let's say he's going to have a 3:00 bris, for example, davening mincha gedola, so then it'll work for shachris and mincha.
So what if I leave and I don't go to the bris?
Doesn't matter.
I still have to wait till they have finished benching, but I may not know that they finished benching.
No. One more time. What was that question?
All right, so the moil is at Shachrit.
Yes.
He's got a Brit Milah that day.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me what time. It's going to be 1:00. I don't know, whatever it is.
Okay.
So I don't go to the Brit Milah.
You don't have to go to the brit. He's there.
No, I know.
Because he's there. That's it.
No, but so I don't say it in the morning. But let's say I do mincha at noon.
Yeah.
Let's say I can.
Is he there or not?
But no, he's not there. But the Brit Milah is going on somewhere else.
You're done.
No, it has nothing to do with you then. Only because he was there. Only because he was there. If he was there, or you went with him, and they didn't bench yet, so then you wouldn't say the tachlin. But if you're not there, then it doesn't work. No, there's only when the guy
have to leave.
No, the question is here when the mayel and the sandik or the avia ben is with you. Okay, so I think we all understand this. Okay, I wish everyone should have a wonderful Shabbos, and please Hashem, we should bring us the final geula with the binyan bayis shlishi on Hara bayis b'mheira v'yameinu.